Very good afternoon to all. So I'm just going to share one small talk on, like, how important it is for us to when to cross link, how to cross link, and why some consequences happen post cross linking. At the outset, I have no financial disclosures. So this is one case example where preoperatively you can see it's a 384 cornea, a great and 51 diopter of Kmax, and we did this patient. We did a cross linking, just a manual cross linking for this patient, and post operatively 1 year you can see that patient has flattened by around 2 to 3 diopters, and on densitometry there is no evidence of haze or scar, and even on slit lamp examination you can see that there is not significant haze present. This is a second case example again where we did a manual cross linking for the patient, and post operatively, yes, the patient is stable. There is not significant flattening present or progression here, and again, no evidence of haze or scar. Densitometry is again normal, and slit lamp examination is also normal. However, this is the third case where we have done a cross linking. It's just a manual cross linking, a disclaimer here, and post operatively at 1 year, if you can see here, that patient has flattened by around almost 7 diopters in just 1 year. And the another interesting thing is, yes, the patient's visual acuity, the best corrected visual acuity, has also reduced. So when we did, and this is the slit lamp examination of the patient, there is a scar present here. And again, the densitometry also shows that there is some amount of scarring present. So just what happened here, why are there 3 similar kind of patients? We've done the same procedure for all 3 patients, but these 3 patients have different outcomes. One has not, one is just the same, one has flattened by around 2 to 3 diopters, and the third patient has flattened excessively and also has landed up in a scar. So our group has published this work where they have said that the amount of LOX and collagen, with increasing grades of keratoconus, the LOX and the collagen reduces. And higher the LOX or collagen, there are optimal outcomes, and lower it has suboptimal outcomes. But the question here was that how do we image it in our clinic? So these are the same 3 case examples. We did a polarization sensitive OCT for this patient, which can help us image the orientation and the arrangement of the collagen fibers in the cornea. So you can see here that these are the 3 patients with similar grade of KC and similar curvature. But the collagen orientation, if you see here, the more the blue you see, that means it's darker. Darker the blue you see, it means the better the collagen orientation is. And lighter the blue or yellow or red which you see, it means the orientation and the arrangement is on the weaker side. So if you can see here, the first patient has a relatively a good collagen orientation and arrangement. Here it is a little bit lesser. It is still good, but a little bit lesser. And here, if you can see that there is hardly any collagen orientation present here, and the fibrils are just not attached to each other. They are just scattered. And when we compare them with the LOX and collagen, the patient with, this is based on our work, the good collagen orientation has good amount of LOX and collagen present, followed by a little bit weakening of the LOX and collagen with these 3 cases. And once we did the cross-linking on them, this is like the first patient had flattened excessively, like we saw 7 diopters. This is around 3 to 4 diopters, and this is no change. And if we see the post-operative polarization sensitive OCT, just with the cross-linking effect, the patient which has good collagen has actually become better, and that is why the flattening is more. And the patient with a decent amount of collagen has flattened relatively well, and patient which had hardly any collagen has not actually flattened a lot, and that's why that is depending on the level of collagen. So with this slide, I just want to show that your cross-linking outcomes actually depends on the amount, the orientation, and the arrangement of the collagen you have in your cornea. And it is not dependent on what protocol, it is not exactly or completely dependent on what protocol you use or how much energy you give to the patient. It depends on the amount of collagen fibers collagen orientation and the amount of collagen you have in the cornea. So sir, you would like to add anything here or in this thing?